Over the weekend, Pete Buttigieg had a town hall on Fox News. Now, there's been this huge debate about whether or not it makes sense for Democratic candidates to do anything on Fox News. As we all know, Elizabeth Warren is against it, but Buttigieg thought, no, this is a good opportunity to go on there and speak to their audience. And he did use it as an opportunity to state the obvious about Fox News. But I did appreciate what he had to say here. Take a look.
You know, a lot of folks in my party were critical of me for even doing this with Fox News. And
I've heard that.
and I get where that's coming from, especially when you see what goes on with some of the opinion hosts on this network. I mean, when you got Tucker Carlson saying that immigrants make America dirty, when you've got Laura Ingraham comparing detention centers with children in cages to summer camps, then there is a reason why anybody has to swallow hard and think twice before participating in this media ecosystem. But I also believe that even though some of those hosts are not always there in good faith, I think a lot of people tune into this network who do it in good faith.
I can't, no. So on the one hand, I get it. He called out Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham. Good, happy to have it. And I don't mind him doing it. So let me clarify my opinion on that before I get to his answer. So I don't think the Democrats should hold debates on Fox News because they're going to frame every issue from a conservative perspective, as Chris Wallace did on several occasions with Buttigieg. And I don't, but doing town halls, I have a totally different opinion on. I'm agnostic. You could do them, not do them, I don't really care. Because then you're voluntarily choosing to go get those conservative framed questions, and then it's up to you what you want to do with them. I just don't want to enable that for the whole field. So I respect both sides, Elizabeth Warren not going, Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders going, and Klobuchar going, I don't mind either way. But I'd go in with fire and fury. And so here, he does the thing about, hey, I tweaked Tucker and Laura Ingraham and I did my serious face while doing it. But then I'm gonna kiss the viewer's ass. And no, not buying it.
What do you mean by kiss the viewer's ass? What do you mean by that?
He said, but I don't think the viewers share that opinion. Yes, they do, that's why they watch.
That's a fair point.
And so he said that they're tuning in good faith. I don't think so. When they hear Tucker Carlson talking about brown people and how they're making the country dirty, and when they hear him talking about how the immigrants will not replace us, and Ingraham says the same line, they love it. That's why they tuned in. So no, the Fox News audience is also guilty. Now, don't get me wrong, and this is nuance, and I know that in the political short speak and the memes and et cetera, that nobody can do nuance. But the reality is, yes, some people got brainwashed by Fox News, and they're actually really good people or somewhat good people, and they got misled in the wrong direction. But a lot of them came for the hate, stayed for the fear. And so if you're gonna go on Fox News, come at them a little harder. Now, Buttigieg clearly talked to his staff and made a decision. Okay, let's do a political calculation here. We can't go on Fox News and not tweak the hosts, otherwise we'll seem weak. So we'll do that for the Democratic voters, but then we'll turn around for the Fox News viewers and kiss their ass so we can try to get their votes.
Well, look, I know, Cenk, but also, look, I hear what you're saying and it's a fair point, but at the same time, the whole argument in favor of allowing Fox to host a town hall is, well, maybe I can communicate to that audience, right? And if you're to persuade anyone in that audience in your direction, you're not gonna do it by being like, yeah, the audience is trash, you guys are all racist. Like, he's trying to persuade them, and part of persuading them is, being pleasant toward them and saying complimentary things. Now, what I loved about this though, was the reaction from people like Kilmeade and Donald Trump. Now we're gonna get to Donald Trump in a second, we'll save the best for last. But first, let's go to Kilmeade, who was very, very upset at the critique.
Don't hop on our channel and continue to put down the other hosts on the channel or the channel. If you feel that negative about it, don't come. Because for him to go out there and take shots of our primetime lineup without going on our primetime lineup shows to me, absolutely no courage.
So what do you want? You want him to come on Fox News and grovel to you guys? Apparently that's Brian Kilmeade's demands before somebody comes on.
And doesn't it show courage to go to a right-wing network and be willing to answer questions from a conservative host?
Yeah, and so Brian Kilmeade's definition of courage is groveling.
Right. Pathetic. No, that is not courage. Now look, this isn't really commentary about Pete Buttigieg and his policy issues. It's more about how he handled this and the criticisms that he had for Fox News hosts during this town hall. I think that he was spot on, especially in the specific hosts that he mentioned. And I love the fact that someone like Kilmeade got very sensitive and offended, like the snowflake that he is, over what Buttigieg had to say. Now, the part that I really love though, is how Donald Trump treated this whole situation, the fact that Buttigieg had a town hall on Fox News, like a high schooler would if their best friend started hanging out with someone else at lunchtime, right? So let me give you Trump's quotes. He tweets this: hard to believe that Fox News is wasting airtime on Mayor Pete, as Chris Wallace likes to call him. Okay, let's just stop for a second. I think everyone calls him that, right?
Yeah. But Trump doesn't know that because he only watches Fox News. So he's like, oh, this.
How dare you have an endearing nickname for someone other than me?
Yeah, and if it came across his radar for the first time, he thinks that's the first time it's ever existed.
Right, it's amazing. He continues to say, Fox is moving more and more to the losing, wrong side in covering the Dems. They got dumped from the Democrats' boring debates and they just want in. They forgot that They forgot the people who got them there. Chris Wallace said, I actually think whether you like his opinions or not, that Mayor Pete has a lot of substance, fascinating biography. Gee, he never speaks well of me. I like Mike Wallace better, and Alfred E. Newman will never be president.
I mean, I'm never gonna get used to the president being a child, okay? He likes Mayor Pete more than he likes me. God damn it, when are you gonna stop crying? It's been 3-4 straight years of crying.
It's so good. No, don't stop. Don't stop. I love it.
He calls him Mayor Pete. I don't like it. I think Chris likes it more than he likes me. God damn it, you're such a child.
He never says anything nice about me. You're the president of the United States of America. You are the most powerful person on the planet, and you're crying about Chris Wallace not being complimentary enough toward you. He is a child, and it's hilarious.
He had to clarify that losing is the wrong side.
Just in case anyone's confused. Okay. So good. And by the way, part of the reason why he's so sad about the fact that Buttigieg was on Fox News is because it appears that the audience gave him a standing ovation. Chris Wallace revealed Sunday that the crowd wanting to participate in the event was larger than any other town hall event they've hosted thus far. So it's jealousy, it's envy, it's again, it just reminds me of like weird high school rivalries.
So look, in the post game, that's the last half hour of the Young Turks, just for members. I want to talk more about Alfred E. Newman as a nickname, and I want to talk more about whether my strategy of attacking Fox News and conservatives and would work better or not, and whether we'll ever find out. tyt.com/rally, come to my speech in Iowa, and tyt.com/join to become a member and get that extra half hour. But I do want to squeeze in a couple of extra things here. First of all, I think Trump might be even more upset at the contrast between him and Buttigieg, because Buttigieg is so smart, and so I don't.
And young.
Yes.
I think it's the fact that he's young, and I think it's the fact that he went to an Ivy League school. He went to Harvard.
And actually earned it.
And the fact that he's smart and knows how to speak a bunch of languages. Like Trump is he's so sensitive and egotistical and thin-skinned because he's insecure. He's insecure about his intelligence because he knows what's in those transcripts.
Yeah, so Buttigieg knows how to speak 7 languages. Trump barely knows how to speak English.
And Buttigieg was also a soldier and didn't refer to, or use fake bone spurs to.
That's right. He went to Afghanistan. Kilmeade called him a coward. Hey, that's a veteran, so watch yourself. And now, but on the other hand, don't take this the wrong way, because I'm frustrated by Buttigieg. Some of Buttigieg's answers on Fox News were good, but some were not great. He went on there and he said that the Democrats have an obligation to say how they'd pay for advocating for healthcare, infrastructure, and education. So that's a right-wing talking point, and he goes to a right-wing audience and he's like, oh, you guys are right. No, Democrats don't know how to pay for Medicare for all or Green New Deal or college for all. Oh, you guys are right, you guys are right. Nah, I hate that. I can't stand that. And so unlike Trump, we're at least intelligent enough to understand what Buttigieg is saying. And so when he says that, that means if I get elected, I'm not gonna do anything. Don't worry, Fox News audience. I'm not gonna do any of those things. And then when he talks about progressive principles, like for example, raising taxes on the wealthy, he's super vague. He never says what the rate should be. And he says, he wants to quote, make sure that people are giving back. That doesn't mean anything. That means, no, I'm not gonna re-raise the corporate taxes. So then he talk about financial transaction tax, good. So I'm not being biased. When he says things that I like and that are progressive, wonderful. I wanna give him more credit. But coming in with weak sauce, vague promises on the progressive ideas, but super specific when you're attacking progressive ideas, especially on Fox News. If you're gonna go to Fox News, you better go in strong. And he's getting a ton of credit from the mainstream media who loves him.
Yeah.
Joe Scarborough today is like, oh, Mayor Pete, it's gotta be Mayor Pete. He doesn't want to do anything progressive. He goes on Fox News, which I actually secretly like and would like to get my next job with. And so, and he's not Trump, yes, it's gotta be Mayor Pete. No, not buying it, not at all buying it.
Well, look, the mainstream media reaction to Mayor Pete didn't surprise me because they've been propping him up since the second he announced. So I'm not shocked by any of that. Secondly, his answers were also very much expected and predictable. I knew that he was gonna come at these progressive issues with the right-wing talking points. So again, I wasn't shocked by that either. I just want everyone to understand my commentary on this story has nothing to do with his policies. I disagree with his policies, even though to be clear, he hasn't been specific. He's usually very vague and hasn't given real policy proposals yet. But with that said, I do think that the way that he's handled this town hall for him has been successful. I don't think it's gonna appeal to progressives though.
Okay, I mean, to that point, last two examples here. He said that he's on the issue of Roe versus Wade, that he's in favor of appointing justices and judges who recognize that this is part of American freedom. And they had to clarify that that's the most specific he's been and more specific than he is on his website. And that's not at all specific.
Right.
So this guy loves being vague because he's trying to walk a line between the donors and the corporate media and progressive voters, to the point when they asked him about Game of Thrones, it had not concluded yet, no spoilers. And they asked him, who do you think is gonna sit on the Iron Throne? He gave compliments to a couple of different characters and said, I think it's anybody's bet right now.
Now you're nitpicking.
I know, I got it. If it was in a different context, fine. In the context of Buttigieg, I got no answers and never will. Vote for me anyway. The TYT Plus app is now available on iOS and Android. Download to get more TYT content at tyt.com/app.